We've got new tool announcements from Milwaukee, Harbor Freight, and RYOBI.
We've got forged batteries, edge batteries, digital screwdrivers,
big bases, sanders, impacts, and more.
Plus another platinum tool deal from Ohio Power Tool.
This is the Tool Show.
Welcome back, Tool fans. I'm Sarah, that's Rob, and we're going to jump right into the tool news, starting with RYOBI. The popular RYOBI Link storage system is growing yet again, this time with the addition of a new Link wire basket that can hold up to 30 pounds and a mesh basket with a 20-pound weight limit. It also has 2 side pockets for smaller items. Now, I asked Rob to write more copy about these exciting additions, and he added, quote, "These hang on the wall and hold stuff." So there you go. The wire basket will ring up at $24.97 and the mesh basket will be $39.97. Both will be available this fall.
Brilliant writing.
Oh, yeah.
Harbor Freight launched a new benchtop tool this week, the Central Machinery Variable Speed Scroll Saw. It has a 16-inch throat depth and a 1.2 amp variable speed motor that delivers up to 1650 SPM. The die-cast aluminum work table tilts up to 45 degrees left for angled cuts, while the cast iron base reduces vibration. It even has a flexible work light so you can see what you're doing. It's only been in store for a week and already has 100% 5-star reviews from verified buyers. You can find one for yourself at local Harbor Freight for only $109.99.
Moving on to Milwaukee, who had a few announcements this week and one last week that Rob literally forgot to mention.
Sorry.
Last week, Milwaukee finally announced the arrival of their highly anticipated next-generation deep-cut bandsaws. They include the 2929 M18 Fuel deep-cut bandsaw and the 2929S M18 Fuel dual-trigger deep-cut bandsaw. Both feature new compact design and weigh in up to 3 pounds lighter than the previous models. They can both cut 4-inch black iron pipe 20% faster than previous generations and faster than their competitors. The Power State brushless motor delivers maximum power of 550 SFPM. They say we can expect up to 78 cuts per charge with an XC50 battery. They both have variable speed mode select, feathering triggers, tool-free adjustable shoe, and an LED work light. The only real difference is that the 2929S has a dual trigger design and forces the user to use 2 hands, which will likely frustrate the user, but put a huge smile on the face of the guy who pays for their insurance. It also has 1 key, which is pretty cool too. The new 2929 M18 Fuel Deep Cut Bandsaw will finally arrive next month for $379 bare or $669 in a kit with a pair of XC50 batteries, a rapid charger, and a case. But if you're more keen on the dual trigger safety feature, you will have to wait until Q1 of next year and expect to spend $429 bare or $729 with the kit.
In addition, this week, Milwaukee launched their new pack-out compact debris separator. We got a chance to try this thing out at Pipeline a couple of months ago, and it was really impressive. This 2.5-gallon debris separator captures and separates up to 99% of common job site debris before it ever reaches your vacuum and its filter. That means you maintain suction and prolong your filter's life. It's finally going to arrive in October for $99.99.
And finally, if you were on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook this year, you probably saw Rob playing with the Milwaukee MX Fuel 70-kilogram rammer. Well, it's finally here. Almost. Next month, you'll finally be able to purchase Milwaukee's first rammer with dual travel speeds and auto-stop tech that shuts it down when Rob drops it.
True story.
But how much will you have to pay for the privilege of compacting a 1/4 mile of stone on a single charge? $6,499. That's how much. It'll include a pair of Milwaukee's new MX Fuel HD 12.0 forged batteries and their new supercharger. You can pre-order one now at Ohio Power Tool.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Oh my God.
Howdy. By now y'all know I'm a Takova's man. Because I've got the boots. When I slide on these beauties, everything just becomes easier. Like that. I wanted coffee? Now I've got coffee.
That's my call.
But it wasn't always easy, friends. I used to wear these. To be honest, I used to struggle to do the most basic of manly things. Whoa, careful there. Let a cowboy handle this. Hey there, buddy. You look like you could use a hand. You better hurry up, little fella, because it's time to ranch the cattle.
Oh, huh?
And I owe all this to my Takova's Cartwrights. Made by a company born out of love for cowboy boots, they're built with authentic craftsmanship, rich materials, and a timeless styling that always looks good.
The broken-in scotch-colored goat hide was comfortable right out of the box. Every Takova boot is made by hand in over 200 individual steps, and it's always made with premium leathers. So throw out your sneakers and start living the cowboy life. Maybe buy a motorcycle and a tractor, and you too can ranch the cattle.
Not a thing.
So do yourself a favor and click the link in the description, or scan this here QR code and get your new favorite pair of boots today. Can you put in that whoosh sound when I do that? That's probably pretty cool.
Moving on to our favorite videos of the week, starting with Shop Tool Reviews, where Tim decided to finally put the new Milwaukee Forge batteries to the test to determine once and for all, do you need these?
The answer is yes, yes you do.
Tim also reviewed our personal favorite self-propelled 22-inch mower, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck. And at 11.1 foot-pounds of torque, it just might be the most powerful battery-powered self-propelled mower on the planet.
The RYOBI Edge batteries have officially landed, and several channels accepted the RYOBI Challenge to test their standard 4 amp hour against the new 4 amp hour Edge using the same RYOBI HP circular saw and drills. Tests were performed at Tool Review Zone, Pro Tool Reviews, and on Mark Thomas Builder. All of the channels prove that the shift to tablet cells is paying off for the brands making the leap, even in job site level tools like the RYOBI HP series.
Speaking of Mr. Thomas, he also reviewed the new Milwaukee M18 magnetic extendable boom light, which is just as big in person as it looks in the video. And after the sun went down, Mark used it to keep working into the wee hours of the morning. And while the light is big, as it turns out, the light output is even bigger.
Okay, stop what you're doing, grab your screwdriver, and take a look at the end of it. Does yours have an LCD screen on it? Because mine didn't either. But Doc over at Last Best Tool found one that does. That's the PB Swiss Digitorque driver handle and shanks. It's a fancy torque limiting driver that can be adjusted from 0.89 to 7.08 inch-pounds. All you do is slide in the included key and twist the dial until you get to the limit you want. Then when you reach that limit with your fastener, it'll click right over, keeping you from over-tightening. Now if only I had $200 left in my screwdriver budget this month.
Do not. Peter Millard clearly loves his trim routers, but as you all know, the tiny bases that they come with often lead to mistakes. Thankfully, Peter found a solution from BenchDog Tools. That is their router big base. And yes, it's a big base for your trim router. You can even add on those awesome handles for even more control. And with the amount of power that we've been seeing in these little trim routers recently, a big base might be the best upgrade that you can get.
Matt over at 731 Woodworks got a hold of one of our favorite new Milwaukee tools from their pipeline event, the new M12 Fuel 3-inch random orbital detail sander. And Matt's so enamored with this thing, he figures DeWalt fans are gonna start switching to red. So let's hear it, D-boys. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to switch.
Yeah, we're not calling DeWalt dudes D-boys. Gross. Tools Tested is determined to find out who makes the best compact impact drivers, and he's got a huge group of contenders, including examples from Makita, Milwaukee, Flex, Hilti, Hercules, Metabo HPT, DeWalt, Bosch, and SKIL. He puts each one on the dyno and then through a bit of manual labor to see who should be wearing the crown.
Taylor at Tinker with Tools got his hands on the new rigid 4 amp hour max output EXP battery with tabless cells. And at this point, it might not shock you to hear that the new battery brings new life to rigid tools. But to prove it, Taylor tests not only the new battery, but 6 other rigid batteries to see just how much improvement you can expect.
Torque Test Channel started off this week's video explaining the difference between a fake and counterfeit tool. And that difference is important because they were able to get their hands on a bunch of counterfeit tools. These are being sold as the real deal at ridiculous prices, and as TTC finds out, a few of them are not all that bad for the money. That is, if you can look past the dishonesty and the fraud. Good luck with that.
Testing overpowered batteries seems to be the theme this week, so we might as well end in New Zealand, where Tools from Tools and Stuff is testing the new Milwaukee Forge batteries alongside their new supercharger, which can cool down the new 8 and 12 amp hour Forge batteries faster than ever, which means faster recharges so you can get back to work. But is the bump in power and charging time worth the cost? Tools will tell you. Before we get to the Platinum Tool Deal of the Week, we've got a few new toys from our friends at Stack Smarter. If you use any of the modular tool storage systems, Stack Smarter can help you, well, stack smarter with a huge selection of high-quality accessories that help you do more than even the manufacturers will allow. In this case, they're offering base plates for several brands that don't. We've got examples from Klein Modbox, Rigid Pro Gear, and DeWalt's Tough System 2.0. Now, none of these manufacturers offer a mounting plate, but thankfully, Stack Smarter does, because it makes it so much easier to secure to your shop walls, custom cabinets, or even into the bed of your truck. Each one is made of ultra-durable, high-grade HDPE. These are not 3D printed. They're made to withstand tough environments and resist corrosion. The best part is, they're super affordable. Each one's only $45. For more details and many more solutions to your modular storage needs, head over to stacksmarter.com.
It's time again for our Platinum Tool Deal of the Week from Ohio Power Tool. Now this week we have a $50 off $100 purchase of any in-stock clearance and overstock items.
Now OPT has a separate page for that stuff, and we just looked at it and found tons of Milwaukee OPE tools, Bosch Pro Factor tools, Flex's huge half-inch high-torque impact wrench, Ego's snowblowers, DeWalt's framing nailer, and a ton more.
But you'll have to be very, very fast because, as always, our Platinum Tool Deal will only work for the first 25 people to use the code, which is a good reason to be subscribed and click the notification bell so you never miss a deal on Friday night.
The code you need this week is TS20876. Good luck.
I want to thank SKIL, Ego, and Ohio Power Tool for continuing to support our show and our community of tool fans. We couldn't do it without you.
If you can, go lend a hand to your neighbor this weekend, and Sarah and I will see you next week.